Yeah, so this is a bit of an update, a response, I guess, to yesterday's video, and also a response to the video response. So here we go. Yeah, three messages basically. Um, First one, yeah, I wasn't quite sure what you meant by upstaged. I didn't know whether you meant by nature or by life or by the YouTube channel. For sure, I'm totally upstaged. I'm the kind of guy who's used to being upstaged. I've tagged along all my life as a guitar player, supporting singers and other frontmen to go out there. I've always played second violin, loved it. You've got much more control on the second violin because you create a bridge between the actual rest of the quartet and the front man, who's actually the guy who has to wear a silly hat, and he's the one who's takes the responsibility and represents the band, or represents the people. So yeah, I'm happy not to be upstaged, really. Yeah, I'm happy to be upstaged. I mean, but at the same time, I'm not anymore. I will no longer shy away from the microphone in the centre stage and say my thing. I'm used to big audiences with the guitar, and I've realised that people have shown me in the last week or two or longer on YouTube that people do listen to what I've got to say and listen between the lines and don't pull me to pieces on all of those little things. So I know that people are. I don't meet any really bad people in my life. Some people are difficult, some people are highly strung, and some people want to take centre stage. And I'm generally there just to make sure that those people don't hurt themselves on the job. But if nobody's grabbing the microphone, then, like I say, if I can speak for people, and I'm in the position to do that, then that's what I choose to do. I see a lot of things. The second comment about are you missing something? Am I missing something? Are you missing something? This thing about the 1% and the 99% and the unfairness. I've got to be honest with you. I've kind of dropped this blame game. I did spend a long time blaming, and I think I've ended up blaming everybody. Blaming myself the most. It's a hard world, especially when you've got to look at the horrors and then suddenly turn off the horrors and try and get back into daily life and be happy, because I think it is my duty to be happy, not to try and be happy, but to be happy at the things I'm happy about. I shouldn't have to. It shouldn't be a duty to be sad until everything's solved. So that's the perspective I look at it as, and I don't really blame the 1%, whoever they are, because I don't see a 1%. In my opinion, one of the biggest problems with society is that the system has no ears. It's only got eyes. So everything's done on paperwork, and you'll even notice that we're turning more visual. Nothing's got proper buttons that you can press anymore. And this, like thinking through the eyes and judging through the eyes is a big misjudgment. If we judge through the ears and close our eyes and listen to people and listen in between. So I don't see a 1%, or I try not to. I see 100% of people all having a different part, and I don't really think it matters if a part's small or big. Which brings me to the third thing really about the video response, which was really good. That gave me a totally new experience of YouTube and gave me another reason to stay on here and keep going, even with just a few people, because even just one person who can recognise my truth gives me a lot more strength to carry on. And what you said basically was injustice and misrepresentation. Maybe in the other order. I think the injustice comes from people not knowing the law. I've talked to a lot of people, and they tell me they know the law, but what they're telling me is restricting their own rights. I go into that on other videos, but basically I think through education we could relearn the basic fundamentals of like common law or natural law. But the language has caused the problem there. And in my opinion, that comes back to misrepresentation. I'm very misrepresented because people think I'm generally just a long-haired guy who, but I'm a lot more than that. I do a lot more than that, and this is kind of a smoky mirror, just so that people think maybe kind of leave me in peace, really. And so I don't really care anymore about misrepresentation, although I do take care with it, you know. I try to do these videos very organically and just address the things that come at me. It's still very difficult, and I can't say that I've got any more answers than anybody else. Yeah, misrepresentation. You know what? Just as a final note, most people I've met just don't believe in their own skills and don't believe in their own self, you know. I suppose you can't really start a mission if you get the feeling you need a permission. And a lot of the misrepresentation it's self-misrepresentation, I think, as well. And so maybe, yeah, keep the thoughts coming and have a nice time. Cheerio. So there's my little fire, just made out of some stones. You can see warming my feet on there. Got a cup of cocoa, hot chocolate there. Feed me sticks in here. That's a lovely little fire for in the middle of nowhere. I sit and smoke my pipe. I enjoy my cocoa. Lovely. So it's nice in this forest here. I feel very safe with the warmth of a fire to warm the feet and boil the water so that it's clean to drink. There's a nice shelter to sleep in. And there's a lot of like salad type food you can eat from the forest, and in season you get berries and stuff. So the forest is a really, really, really forgiving place, especially if you know how to build tools, how to make a bow drill, to make a fire and things like that. There's nothing to be scared of. It's so liberating and empowering. I recommend everybody find a nice little place, but take care with fire and stuff. And this is more of like an oven or a stove that I've built so that it doesn't spread and so that it doesn't attract a load of attention. You know, keep it secret and keep it safe. With power comes great responsibility, and with fire and all of these tools and knowledges, you have great power.